just real quick, I wanted to show you what I'm doing with these speakers in this car. I don't know if you remember from one of my earlier videos, this cover right here didn't really sit properly on here. It's stuck out. And I knew these speakers, the ones that came with the car, were literally held in with one screw. They're too big. They're just crappy, junky speakers. So I remembered I had a set of equally cheap pile speakers that I bought for the Prelude. Didn't end up using them. So what I'm going to do is, I've already done the driver's side over there. Just take it out, and it's slightly smaller and it fits much better. And I'm going to hold it in with the 3 screws in the factory locations, and it allows everything to sit properly. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. Alright, so this is what I'm dealing with inside here. Just a rat's nest of wires. These are just twist tied together. Of course, they're cutting in and out, so I'm going to cut those and connect those properly. Let's see, here is the new speaker I'm using. Certainly no prize. I think these were maybe 20 bucks a set, but I had them, and these actually fit in here perfectly. No issues. A lot, like these are the ones that were in here, way too deep. The metal frames are just not fitting in there properly, so I'm going to go ahead and clean up these wires, get that one installed, all while I enjoy a nice ballast point. Today being Thanksgiving, and have some family festivities later, but wouldn't be a day off if I didn't get to sneak in a little Miata time. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these wires up and get these mounted. Okay, that speaker's all mounted. Now the last thing I have to do is actually cut away this plastic portion right here, because the little integrated tweeter doesn't fit through there. But I did it on the other side and it fits perfectly. So you can see I cut out that twist eye connection. So I'm going to go ahead and snip this out and mount it in. I am missing one of these blue clips. I got the third one, but I'm missing one, so I'll have to pick up one, and then this will sit nice and flush and it won't rattle. This speaker project is done. I don't know that it necessarily sounds any better, but it fits a lot better. Like I said, I got to get one of those, another one of those clips right there to secure that corner, but everything is on here. It sits nice and flush. It's not rattling. So in that respect, it definitely does sound better. So, quick little project. I don't know if I mentioned or not, when I switched these seats, these seats that I bought, the U seats, came with Body Sonic, which I guess I'm not even really sure what that is. It probably has some kind of bass reflex in the seat or something, but the seat definitely has the speakers in it, but it doesn't, the plugs don't match, so I have to cut off and splice on a pigtail to get the the wires to match up, and hopefully then the speakers in the seats will work. But for right now, I'm pretty happy with just the 2 speakers. I'm not really going to be driving this car too awful much. I mean, mostly probably my wife will, but I'll be working on it, so that'll do it for this part of the project. So as part of another project, I'm going to go ahead and install a trunk light in the Miata. I've got an LED strip, and you may wonder why I'm standing here next to the Wrangler. It's because I have been trying to find a momentary switch locally without ordering one online, and none of my auto parts stores seem to carry them. So I'm going to go ahead and take the one off this, the Wrangler. This is actually not hooked up to anything. The driver's side works, but for whatever reason the passenger side never worked. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out and use it. And if I ever decide that I want to fix this in the Jeep, and I don't have the doors on now anyway, obviously, I can just pick up another one, but this is perfect. I could find a momentary switch that did the reverse of this. In other words, the light would turn on when you pressed it, but not when the switch was open. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out, and I'm going to start working on installing the one in the trunk. Okay, I've got this switch out. It was just one simple screw. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up the contact on this. And that'll ensure a nice, even, you know, coverage, I guess you call it, contact. So I'm going to just rough it up with some sandpaper, and that should help. This could probably not be any easier. I'm going to go ahead and mount this switch right here, which this little rubber isolator will then turn it off, or turn it on, I should say, when the trunk lid's open. And the battery's right here, so I'm going to go ahead and mount this up under here someplace. Find a nice, looks like that'll be a good place for it, right about under there. And it's low voltage, so I'm just going to use speaker wire with an inline fuse and hook it up to the battery, which is right there. Super simple, and I don't like having a trunk that doesn't have a light in it, so this will definitely solve it. I've got the switch all mounted. I had to drill a large hole for the barrel to go through, and then a much smaller hole for the screw. And depending upon whatever switch you find, you know, that'll be different. But it protrudes in here. I don't know if you can see or not. I'll put my finger on it right there. So that's where the negative is going to go. And once that's hooked up and the positive is hooked up to the battery, that'll complete the circuit for the light, which I have installed under here. So it's just a matter of plugging it in and hooking it up and putting everything back together. In retrospect, I wish I would have drilled the main hole just a little more towards the center. It does catch on this. I was afraid there wouldn't be enough room if I put it more towards the center, but it ended up working out fine. So it does close it. I just hope the switch works now. I probably should have checked that before I put it in, but either way, it'll be installed. Well, the light is all done. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It turns off when you close the trunk lid. Nice LED, super simple. The trickiest part was tracking down that momentary switch, but like I said, I already had it and I wasn't using it, so what a perfect solution for that. Anyway, so that's going to do it for this. I think you should check out Greg's car. Excuse me, also a 1990. His screen name is Good Egg Pro, and of course mine will never be as nice as his. His has half the miles on it, and his is in the garage, and mine of course doesn't get that luxury. But when you're checking out his channel, also check out his second channel, which is Models and Movies. He wants people to subscribe. He doesn't care if people actually watch, but he just wants to get the custom YouTube URL. So I think you have to have 100 subs, and I just checked and he's at 66, so we definitely need some help. But nice guy, got a lot of good content, and I don't know, I don't think he has any trunk lights, so maybe you should tell him that's what he needs to do next. I'll go ahead and put the description of those two channels right now on the screen, so please look them up. And anyway, appreciate you watching this video. Stay tuned for more, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Oh, come on, damn it! Oh, that sounds good.